The public is furious. Thousands protest in Sichuan, surrounding police and urban management officers. China's banking sector sees layoff surge, 4 banks cut over 4,000 jobs in 6 months. Financial fraud by CCP, local governments exposed, civil servants forced to swallow bitter salary cuts. Multiple Chinese provinces introduce paid COVID-19 vaccines, raising public concerns. Paris hotel refuses to hang Chinese flag. Incident escalates as Chinese nationals stomp on 5-star flag. Filipino-Chinese mayor accused of being a CCP spy flees abroad. It's all covered in today's China Truths. The public is furious. Thousands protest in Sichuan, surrounding police and urban management officers. A large-scale protest recently erupted in Chengdu, Sichuan, where thousands of citizens confronted police and urban management officers. According to a post from X account at Yesterday Bigcat, several eyewitnesses reported that around 5 p.m. on August 19, at the intersection of Chuanda Road Section 2 and Zaihangang Subdistrict, Xuanliu District, Chengdu, urban management officers injured a vendor while attempting to evict street sellers and called the police to arrest another vendor by handcuffing them. This action sparked outrage among bystanders, who quickly surrounded the urban management vehicles, demanding that the injured vendor be taken to the hospital and that the detained vendor be released. However, the urban management officers who assaulted the vendor showed no intention of providing medical help, and the police had no plan to release the vendor. Instead, they attempted to escape amid the commotion. The harsh actions of the urban management and police escalated public anger, with the protest reportedly growing to involve thousands of people. Under the mounting pressure from the crowd, the police eventually released the detained vendor. Upon being released, the vendor climbed onto the roof of a police car, waving his handcuffed arms in defiance against the urban management's misconduct. This bold act was met with loud cheers from the crowd, pushing the protest to its climax. The demonstration lasted until around 10 p.m., with the crowd gradually dispersing after the injured vendor was finally taken to the hospital by the police. In recent times, large-scale anti-violence movements have been on the rise, triggered by security guards and urban management officers oppressing citizens. Besides the recent incident where a residential security guard forced a delivery worker to kneel, sparking widespread protests among delivery drivers, similar mass protests have erupted in other areas as well. On August 19, workers from Xinjiang Special Steel in Tangshan, Hebei, staged another collective action, gathering at the Tangshan City Petition Bureau to demand their rights. This followed the company's refusal to compensate them after halting production and relocating operations. Previously, hundreds of Xinjiang Special Steel workers had twice assembled at the Gai District government in Tangshan. On the same day, workers at Fudi Battery, a BYD subsidiary in Shaoxing, Zhejiang, went on strike to protest hidden salary cuts disguised as wage increases. On August 18, taxi drivers in Guanghe, Gansu, went on strike again, protesting the Guanghe County Taxi Company's failure to insure vehicles and its unjust fines and breach of contracts, which fueled widespread dissatisfaction among the drivers. This strike followed a previous one held on the 14th of this month. On August 16, sanitation workers in Changde, Sichuan, Hunan, drove garbage trucks to block the gates of Sichuan Group, demanding their overdue wages. According to a report from Taiwan's Central Broadcasting System in February this year, mass protests in Chinese society have been surging annually, escalating from thousands or tens of thousands per year to now exceeding at least 100,000 incidents. It's estimated that China currently sees an average of about 500 protests per day. Commenting on the ongoing wave of protests in China, prominent human rights lawyer and visiting professor at Hunter College, Teng Biao, told Voice of America, China's economy is currently in a dire state, with many regions unable to pay wages. Reports of workers and migrant laborers across the country demanding their pay surface daily, reaching a point where survival has become a struggle. Collusion between the system and officials, coupled with deliberate wage withholding, has left workers with no choice but to protest. Despite the CCP's use of high-tech authoritarian tools like Skynet, facial recognition, and real-time tracking via mobile phones, these measures have failed to stop people from engaging in various forms of resistance. This is the true state of nonviolent resistance among the Chinese population. China's banking sector sees layoff surge. 4 banks cut over 4,000 jobs in 6 months. China's banking industry, long considered an iron rice bowl, is now grappling with waves of salary cuts and layoffs amid a sluggish economy and rising operational pressures. On August 20th, Shanghai Pudong Development Bank, SPDB, released its mid-year performance report, revealing a decline in operating income compared to the first half of last year. The report also showed that SPDB has reduced its workforce by 1,663 employees in the past 6 months, a decrease of approximately 2.7%. This translates to a drop in employee costs from 13.729 billion yuan to 13.640 billion yuan, roughly equivalent to $1,913. SPDB is not alone in this predicament. Several other major banks, including Nanjing Bank, Ping'an Bank, and Shanghai Rural Commercial Bank, have also reported staff reductions in their recent semi-annual reports. Among listed banks that have released their mid-year reports, only Jiangsu Bank saw a slight increase in its workforce. In stark contrast, Nanjing Bank, Ping'an Bank, SPDB, and Shanghai Rural Commercial Bank collectively cut 4,116 jobs in the first half of the year. Among them, Ping'an Bank witnessed the most dramatic reduction, with its workforce shrinking by 2,289 employees since the end of 2023. Even before Ping'an Bank's layoffs made headlines, rumors of salary cuts at China Construction Bank, one of China's big 4 state-owned commercial banks, were already circulating. According to a July 4th report by National Business Daily, there was widespread discussion about a potential 10% salary cut at China Construction Bank's headquarters. Sources indicated that the bank is implementing salary adjustments across the board, impacting not only headquarters staff but also employees at all subsidiaries. The average salary reduction at headquarters is said to be slightly over 10%, with higher-ranking positions experiencing even more significant cuts. Reports of salary reductions in the banking sector are not isolated incidents. In May, several Ping'an Bank employees reported that their performance bonuses were reduced, with some business departments receiving only 60% of their usual amount. An employee at China Construction Bank's headquarters confirmed to Jiemian News that their department's salaries had already been decreased last year, a trend that is reflected in the bank's publicly available financial reports. Financial fraud by CCP. Local governments exposed, civil servants forced to swallow bitter salary cuts. Recent fiscal audit reports across several Chinese provinces, including Guangdong, Hebei, Sichuan, and Inner Mongolia, reveal widespread financial fraud, as local governments inflate revenue figures to meet performance targets. The authenticity of fiscal revenue has come under scrutiny, exposing deep-rooted practices of falsifying financial data. Guangdong was found to have inflated revenue by 17.1 billion yuan, about $2.4 billion, while Hebei artificially increased 2.5 billion yuan, about $350 million, through deceptive transactions. Sichuan and Qinghai manipulated donation funds and passed disbursements to boost figures. The trend of inflating fiscal revenue stems from local governments' reliance on revenue growth metrics for performance evaluations. Faced with mounting financial pressures, some local officials resort to false reporting and revenue manipulation. In June, the National Audit Office released a central audit report indicating that some tax departments overcollected 54.3 billion yuan, about $7.61 billion, in corporate, consumption, and land appreciation taxes to meet targets, while deferring nearly 95 billion yuan, about $13.32 billion, in taxes to future years. The audit also found delayed collection and manipulation of revenues across several provinces, highlighting ongoing fiscal challenges. Amid China's sluggish economy, the government's financial shortfalls have made salary cuts for civil servants a bitter reality. According to a report by BBC Chinese on August 19, a mid-level civil servant in southwest China, Ms. Liu, shared, "My monthly take-home pay is less than 4,000 yuan, about $560, and I was relying on my year-end bonus to make ends meet." When I heard that the bonus was cancelled during this year's Lunar New Year, I couldn't hold back my tears. Ms. Liu added, civil servants already started facing tougher times last year. Amid declining fiscal revenues, pay cuts for civil servants have become increasingly common. Reports indicate that many civil servants, especially in economically developed regions, have seen salary reductions of 20% to 30%. This follows last year's trend of tightening budgets across public institutions. Song Lin, ING Bank's chief economist for Greater China, noted local government financial challenges due to revenue pressures. Land sales, once a major revenue source, have sharply declined with the real estate slump. In the first half of 2024, land sales revenue dropped 55.7% compared to 2019. While tax revenue has slightly improved, it remains below previous levels due to declining corporate profits and salary cuts affecting income tax collection. Multiple Chinese provinces introduce paid COVID-19 vaccines, raising public concerns. Several hospitals and community health centers across China have announced a shift from free to paid COVID-19 vaccines, drawing significant public attention. On August 15, Shandong Province released pricing for 8 COVID-19 vaccines. The lowest priced option, a nasal spray vaccine from Wantai Biopharma, is priced at 136 yuan, nearly $19, per dose. The most expensive, a recombinant vaccine targeting the XBB.1.5 variant from CanSino, costs 1,114 yuan, about $156, for a 3-dose regimen, or 371.3 yuan, about $52, per dose. Heilongjiang and Anhui provinces have also disclosed their vaccine procurement details. Prices in these regions are similar, with Anhui also including an mRNA vaccine from CSPC at 598 yuan, about $84, per vial. Dr. Ren, a general practitioner from Zhejiang, raised concerns following these announcements. Despite rising COVID-19 cases, he noted that public willingness to vaccinate remains low. During the pandemic's peak, free vaccines did not achieve expected participation rates. Now, with vaccines priced between 126 and 1,000 yuan, all domestically produced, he questioned whether the public would trust these vaccines. The announcement has sparked heated debates, with many voicing their refusal to pay for the vaccine. The Beijing blogger Mo Mingxua stated that the newly announced COVID-19 vaccine prices show significant differences. This price adjustment has sparked widespread public discussion regarding the costs of vaccine options and health protection. Others commented, "You're naive. Once the prices for essential items on the train are set, if they can't be sold, someone will find a way to sell them. Unless you're not on the train or are determined to resist." The story is simple, but those who understand it find it terrifying. Many netizens echoed similar sentiments. Paris hotel refuses to hang Chinese flag, incident escalates as Chinese nationals stomp on 5-star flag. As previously reported, during the Paris Olympics, a popular internet celebrity from mainland China posted a video on Douyin claiming that the Evergreen Laurel Hotel in Paris had refused to display the Chinese 5-star flag. He demanded a refund and later returned to the hotel to press for the hanging of the flag, but his efforts were unsuccessful. The hotel ultimately issued an apology, and a Chinese travel site subsequently delisted the hotel. When the incident seemed to have subsided, a TikTok account called Free Fujian posted a video on August 18 titled Evergreen Laurel Hotel Entrance, Taiwan Not Equal to China. The footage shows a Chinese man dragging a large Chinese 5-star flag to the hotel's entrance and raising a banner. He then focused the camera on the flag under his feet. The 58-second video featured only comedic music without any commentary. The user Free Fujian states in its bio, supporting Taiwan's independence, thankful to Taiwan, ROC for enabling descendants from Fujian to live in freedom, democracy, and prosperity, exposing the real China, revealing the stories behind the news. Opposing the communist dictatorship. Filipino-Chinese mayor accused of being a CCP spy flees abroad. Alice Guo, also known as Guo Huaping, a Filipino-Chinese mayor suspected of being a CCP spy, has reportedly fled the country. While the exact date of her departure remains unclear, immigration records indicate that Gua first arrived in Malaysia from Indonesia on July 18, traveled to Singapore on July 21, and then took a ferry to Indonesia's Batam Island on August 18, according to a Reuters report on August 20. In response, the Philippine President's office issued a memorandum on the same day, instructing the Justice Secretary and Foreign Affairs Secretary to take necessary actions to revoke Gua's passport in the interest of justice. Norman Tansinko, chief of the Philippine Immigration Bureau, reported on August 19 that Gua may have left the Philippines without the standard exit checks. He stated, "We have not received any reports or turn-backs regarding Gua Huaping from other agencies, including those stationed at our maritime borders." Tansinko further disclosed that foreign intelligence had tracked Gua's illegal entry into Malaysia, followed by her flight to Singapore with siblings Sheila and Wesley on July 21. As of the latest updates, the group has moved on to Indonesia. Earlier developments on Monday revealed that Senator Risa Hontiveros presented the Philippine Senate with an arrival card that Gua allegedly used to enter Malaysia on July 18. Hontiveros raised concerns about potential complicity within government ranks, questioning who allowed this situation to occur and who should be held accountable. Deputy Justice Secretary Nicholas Tai added that law enforcement was first alerted to Gua's disappearance after July 18. Senator and broadcaster Rafi Tulfo suggested that Gua might have escaped the Philippines via a private jet. He highlighted the ease with which such departures are handled, explaining, "Passengers chartering a flight abroad don't need to go through the usual procedures and immigration checks. You can simply drive a luxury sedan or SUV straight to the gate, board the plane from the tarmac, and take off." Alice Gua accused of links to criminal syndicate, suspected of being a CCP agent. Alice Gua, mayor of Bamban City in Tarlac Province, Philippines, stands accused of ties to a criminal syndicate involved in money laundering, online fraud, human trafficking, and illegal detention. The Philippine Senate, having summoned her twice for investigative hearings which she failed to attend, issued an arrest warrant for her and her family on July 12. The allegations stem from a March raid by Philippine authorities on an 80,000 square meter offshore gambling site in Bamban, primarily operated by Chinese nationals. The operation led to the rescue of nearly 700 enslaved workers and the seizure of evidence linked to fraud, human trafficking, and kidnapping. It was revealed that the site was partially situated on land owned by Gua, directly behind her office. In light of these events, Gua has been suspended from office, and police have initiated background checks. The Senate began its formal inquiry in May. Senator Risa Hontiveros has raised concerns in Congress about Gua potentially being a CCP agent, noting her evasive responses regarding her birth and education documents, consistently stating, "I'll provide them later." The case has captured national attention. Gua denies any involvement in criminal activities. In a television interview, she claimed to be a Filipino citizen, the illegitimate daughter of a Chinese father and a Filipino maid, raised on a pig farm with no friends. ABS-CBN reports that the Philippine National Bureau of Investigation, NBI, has matched Alice Gua's fingerprints with those of a Chinese woman named Gua Huaping who entered the Philippines in 2003 using a Chinese passport. Despite the Senate's July 12 directive for her arrest and a request to the Bureau of Immigration to prevent her departure, Philippine Immigration Bureau Chief Norman Tansinko reported on August 19 that there is no record of Gua being stopped from leaving the country. This development raises concerns that she may have already fled. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.